What's up guys, Chartsmith here, back again with a new daily NASDAQ video. Yesterday I didn't make a video, I did a live stream. So if you want to watch back what happened on the stock market yesterday, on the crypto market and on the NASDAQ, make sure to watch back that live stream. And for now, let's get into the NASDAQ for today. Before we are gonna look at the 4 hour, I want to look at the 1 hour first. On the 1 hour, we had this pullback that brought us towards all-time highs. On the 1 hour, you want to hold this low to continue your bullish price action on your time frame. What happened yesterday? We closed below the low, making it more bearish than bullish once again on the 1 hour, and you expect lower highs for lower lows until the market has taken out enough liquidity from the lows to continue the up move we still have standing on your higher time frame, because on your 4 hour, on your daily time frame, it is still up until proven otherwise, and this 1 hour break is just internal. Now for our 4 hour time frame, there are two zones I want to map out. First, this one. This is a big PD array. We didn't have tested yet. We just started ripping through without really testing back or taking out any lows. Right now, this morning, just now, we tapped into this 4 hour PD array, and this was also my first long POI to maybe continue our higher time frame up move. Then I also want to map out this for 4 hour fair value gap, bearish inverse, BPR, however you want to call it, which isn't tested back. It is your bearish fair value gap got tested in one tick, so it is not really a test, but you already used it, but your BPR is still untested. What can this mean? As I said, on the 1 hour we had the bearish break, so if this down move to this PD array and taking out all the liquidity from the lows wasn't enough, we could use this 4 hour PD array to trade towards the lows again. But you can also use it, if we manage to inverse it, as a support zone to look for longs towards new all-time highs. So it is good in both ways, and definitely a thing you should have in your chart. Then I instantly want to get into this local range we have right now. Well, range, just a consolidation that I want to look at with you guys, because there are 3 plays I want to talk about. First, let's get into the one of yesterday. As you can see, a big down move. You had the change of character on the 1 hour, indicating we are more bearish than bullish. But what happened, if you looked over here, we took out the extreme liquidity of this whole up move. So pretty much all your liquidity is gone. Most of the times, this can indicate we can rotate towards the upside again. We also had built up really nice trend liquidity on the highs, so there was enough to target, to take out, and then continue your move down. So as a reaction from this extreme liquidity point, you can see instantly people are gonna start buying. We traded above a high, getting in even more buyers, putting in a higher low, getting in more buyers. Once again, traded above the previous high, getting in a lot of buyers. Indicated by this green box, we have got in a lot of early buyers right here. If you have watched previous videos, you know these are the first signals for me that market makers are trying to manipulate the markets to fill up their orders by the stop losses of these early buyers. And would you look at that, we took out the low of all those early buyers. And what was more beautiful about this liquidity grab is we tap perfectly into the 24,500 level. That isn't a coincidence. As you can see, there's also all of a sudden SMT divergence. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ were moving in perfect correlation this whole down move, but when we got this manipulation and the tap into the 24,500 level, all of a sudden there was a divergence. Another good confluence to look towards the other side in combination with your manipulation. But one more really great confluence is we also have a high time frame SMT with the New York PM low. So all bells were on looking for longs. Everything indicated we needed to look for longs. And then we also get a perfect bearish fair value gap to inverse. This is just an example of a AAA+++ setup. Because what do I want to see from a bearish fair value gap to use it as an inverse? I want to see it get tested, get a reaction towards the downside, try to make new lows, but fail, and then inverse it to trade higher. And we perfectly did that. Came it to the gap, tried to make new lows, we can't, inverse the gap, test into it, and start trading towards the highs. Unfortunately, I was eating dinner at this time, so I couldn't play this trade, but it is just a beautiful trade. You could target towards the top of all this trend liquidity, but RR-wise, you would already have got enough money at this high. Then let's get into what happened today. Asia started a down move towards the PM low to take out liquidity and just continued a bit. Building up, nice liquidity to take out. What happens right here? Once again, people are gonna start buying after taking out the extreme liquidity point to the left to take out those highs. So we are getting in a lot of buyers in this up move. You can see we aggressively take out all those early buyers right here. Also a big volume spike indicating that market makers are filling up their orders. We also had a beautiful SMT with the lunge low, and once again, what a coincidence, a perfect tap on the 24,500 level. From there we started trading up, trying to use these bearish value gaps to trade towards new lows. We couldn't. We also made a nice bearish value gap right here, or the bullish, in combination with a high that should have got respected if you were really bearish towards the downside. So you had a lot of buying confluences right here to trade towards the highs. Normally I don't like to put my stop loss below a body candle without a wick, but in this case, because you have this low right here and you had this old liquidity low to the left, I would put my stop loss below it. Once again, already got enough RR at this high, but because we put in a really nice swing low and we entered the fractal buy model, you could target all the way towards this high, because this high right here is your technical target of this market maker buy model. So that was the second play. In this play, we built up a lot of trend liquidity, and all of a sudden, when we got close towards these highs and your technical target of your buy model, we got a lot more volume and a lot more aggressive candles up. Most of the times when this happens, when you are building up liquidity, it is to quickly take out liquidity to the left to then return towards all the trend liquidity on the lows. And this already was your third play. What happened? You took out the technical target of your buy model while also making a really nice SMT with the Asia high. If you understand the sessions and the session liquidity, most of the times when London takes out either side of Asia, in this case the Asia high, you could trade towards the Asia low. It was already taken out. Then you can target liquidity on the opposite side. That is what happened. Do we have any confluences to take a short already? No, an SMT in a liquidity hunt isn't enough. But what happens when we took out that liquidity is what got you bearish. We had this 1 minute pullback that brought you towards the high. We closed below it, already indicating that we are getting more bearish than bullish. Because if you want to continue your bullish price action, you want to hold this low and continue making higher highs and higher lows. So we close below this. What do you want to see? You want to see that this high gets left open and trade towards the downside. It are equals. Another indication that we are gonna need more liquidity from the lows. In this case, it is a small equal high. So this low could have been enough to bring you towards new highs. But it isn't the only confluence that we can look for shorts. It is also that you can take out the high in combination with your 1 minute break. Then you have a lot of nice confluences to look towards the downside. What do? Once again, try to trade above the high. You can't. Make a bearish for value gap that you can trade towards the downside. Stop loss above the high. And from here you can target lows. Once again, already enough risk to reward at this point of price action, but you could ride it all the way towards here. And it continued from this move down from this top already into your 4-hour PD array. If you had runners, of course this would be a target, making this a really big short move. So that are some trade recaps. If you want to understand NASDAQ trading and get a hang of the strategy I use, try to watch this back a couple of times. Go back test it in your chart and really try to understand this, because this is just raw price action analysis. But what is the plan right now? Well, my plan was to look for longs. If we got into this 4-hour PD array, we already did it, and as you can see we got a big reaction up again, indicating that we could be in a market maker buy model already. Technical target of your market maker buy model is this local high, so I have to look at what happens there. But for now it is up until proven otherwise, and we have to look at longs. As I pointed out, if this still isn't enough to continue your high time frame up move, this is your zone to look for shorts, because there's a lot of liquidity being collected here, and there's this PD array that you can that can bring you towards new lows. And for longs, there's still this 1 hour high left open, a demand zone, because this is your last pullback where sellers try to take over. But no, the bulls got the upper hand and push price towards all-time highs. So this could also be a nice zone for the NASDAQ to tap into, if it needs to, of course. Right now, I can't really give you a indication on what is gonna happen. We can move down from here from this liquidity grab. We can just continue our up move. We'll have to wait. So if you want to keep being updated throughout the day, make sure to join the Discord community in the description. It is completely free, no strings attached. We trade NASDAQ, we trade crypto, we trade stocks, whatever you like to trade. So I would love to see you there, and then this will be it for today, and I will see you in the next live stream or video. Ciao!